coming. Welcome to the Textile and Fashion Hub and our first sustainability fashion forum, which is called ReDesign. Before I start, someone just handed in a yep. We're trying to work out what artist it was. We weren't going to. So my name's Eloise. I'm the Sustainability Advisor for the Hub. For those who don't know, this is a new facility that provides our industry participants with access to the latest equipment, machinery, training workshops, and industry intelligence so that people can experiment with innovation as well as produce samples and short run manufacturing. And I'll just point out Julia, who was running our tours before. Julia is the Strategic Manager for the Hub, so if you have any questions, she will be able to help you. All things about the building. The toilets are downstairs, sort of underneath where we are now, and the building itself has been built with various sort of sustainable design elements to it. So the architects have actually made use of old building materials in building this facility, and you'll see particularly on the stairwells the concrete and steel had another life as a different stairwell. And also our heating and lighting systems are automated, so they make use of natural light and airflow. So if you see the louvers making noises and doing strange things, that's what's happening. Now I'd like to just thank you all for coming. This is an important topic, but we also know that running small businesses is a challenge and that your time is precious, so thank you for coming. But the reality is that sustainability will increasingly become an important issue for our industry, and one that is going to become harder to ignore. Businesses will come to be taxed and penalised for carbon pollution. There's the potential for shortages of natural resources such as cotton and the potential cost increases associated, as well as the cost of resources such as energy, fuel and water, and they'll increase. And we're also seeing an increase in media and consumers becoming more savvy to sustainability issues within this industry, and they're going to increasingly come to look to businesses to act in a socially and environmentally responsible way. But despite these seemingly negative pressures, we hope what we show you today is the areas of opportunity and innovation that will come from responding to the challenges. Sustainable and ethical fashion is an emerging trend around the world, and you only have to consider how major international retailers such as H&M, Marks and Spencer and Patagonia are taking advantage of this growing area to see how social and environmental sustainability can also lead to financial growth, and it simply makes good business sense. Here in Australia, where the Mobium Group has tipped the Australian market for ethical and sustainable products to be at $26 billion last year, we're also seeing terrific examples of Australian designers that are recognising the value of adopting sustainable design and production elements in their businesses. And today we're going to provide you with a practical introduction into three key topics of designing and producing a more sustainable garment or product. So for each, if you have a look at the program, the one-pager, we've selected three topics with an expert that will deliver an overview of the topic. So the first one that we have following WGSN's presentation is design for minimal waste, and we're pleased to have Holly Quillen, who's joined us from New Zealand today. Sustainable design and materials will be presented by Kate Fletcher, who will be joining us from the UK via Skype, and also reducing the impacts of chemical dyes, and Peter Johnson, who is from Huntsman Textile Effects in Switzerland, will also be joining us via Skype. And then each speaker will be followed by a panel discussion here in the room where we'll be involving local businesses as case studies who will share their experiences of exploring those issues within their businesses. And we hope that we'll have a very sort of informal and open panel discussion with all of you, and it's your opportunity to ask them questions if you're interested in also exploring them within your own businesses. And then obviously this is an introduction, so at the end of today we also would like you to tell us how you'd like to take this further. The Hub is here to support participants in exploring each of these issues, so there might be things that you're interested in doing around further training or workshops on these issues, or perhaps separate issues that relate to sustainability that we could potentially develop programs around. So if you come up with any ideas during the presentation, keep note of them and we'll have a discussion at the end to bring all of that up. Before I introduce our first speaker, I just wanted to acknowledge the support of the International Fibre Centre, who have supported today, as well as the Textile and Fashion Hub partners, so Kangan Institute, the TFIA and Oz Industry. And before introducing Jen, I'm also very pleased to announce that the Hub has just developed a collaboration, a partnership with WGSN, and Heidi Dart is in the room. She is the Regional Director for Australia and New Zealand of WGSN. So we're very pleased to have this partnership. This will enable Hub participants to have on-site access to WGSN services, and we'll also be collaborating with them on various events such as this, where they're able to share their insight and research for sessions like today. So I will now invite Jen to come up. Jen Sherrin is the National Sales Manager for Australia and New Zealand for the leading online trend analysis and research service WGSN. She's going to provide us with some insights into trends around sustainable fashion.
Thanks everybody. I'm Jen. I'm the Regional Business Development Manager at WGSN. We're really pleased to be here today to share with you some of WGSN's insights on designing for sustainable consumption. Before I begin, I'm going to give you a really brief overview of who we are and what we do. WGSN is the most established and authoritative online trend forecasting service. We've been providing insight for more than 12 years. If you're not familiar with us, WGSN identifies and analyses current and future trends, creating online tools that can be put into action to power their customers' commercial success. WGSN enables those who need to see, think and act on consumers' evolving wants, needs and behaviours to create brilliant products and services. With offices around the world, WGSN's view is truly global. Our 36,000 clients, some of the world's leading brands, and trust us to provide retail, strategic and trend intelligence year after year. Okay, so on to the presentation, and consumers have a key role in driving the fashion industry towards more responsible and sustainable business models. WGSN explores how design can inspire and motivate them to change the way they purchase, use, care for and dispose of fashion goods and accessories. As many designers are already striving to create products that minimise negative environmental impact during their production and recycling, a more recent focus is the development of concepts that address user needs and behaviour in view of product longevity and versatility, and the consideration of ethical production in order to initiate positive change and involve the consumer in doing good. Product longevity is a key consideration, and design strategies incorporate classic styling and colour, versatility, quality and durable design. Physical product durability alone is not enough, as consumers need to want to keep their products for longer through building more emotional relationships with their clothing, footwear and accessories. Freytech bags can be designed by customers from recycled materials online, illustrating the strong bond that co-creation can exist between consumer and product. Textile designer Manhild Dissington enhances the relationship between consumers and their generally short-lived portable electronics by giving them an emotional and tactile appeal. Modular fashion concepts such as Polish label Eloise allows the wearer to mix, match and customise clothes, while Loomstate's multifunctional 3-2-1 clothing collection features panels that can be reversed and rotated to ensure product longevity. Design efficiency can be enhanced through the use of disassembly strategy, with the aim to facilitate remanufacture and recycling at the end of the product's first life. Manufacture for future disassembly must utilise suitable joining methods such as dissolvable stitching, hook and loop systems, and lace-up or tie assembly. Components need to be easily separated for use or manufacturing from the same material as the rest of the product. A really good example of this is Melissa's shoes, which is made from 100% Malfex, a mono-material that can be recycled and reused later to make a new pair of shoes. And Holly might recognise this slide, because it's actually her work. Fashion researcher and lecturer Holly McQuillan's hyperbolic tessellation concept provides both the elimination of waste from garment production and the development of an ongoing relationship between designer and wearer in order to remodel garments as seasons and tastes change. Ethical production comprises many aspects, including valuing fair wages, working conditions and workers' rights, supporting and investing in traditional craft skills and livelihoods, and supporting animal welfare and ethical animal husbandry. As designers realise their power for initiating change and doing good, cause-conscious and socially aware products are high on the agenda, whether located close to home or far away. Streetwear label Ed's Threads raises funds and awareness for the Nettlefold Foundation, which offers life-changing experiences for people suffering from depression and other mental illnesses. Vivienne Westwood's Ethical Fashion Africa collection helped create work for women living in some of the most poverty-stricken areas in Kenya, along with teaching them lifelong skills to generate a sustainable income. Ethical production is an opportunity to create a strong connection with the producer and a clear and transparent story that the customer can support and get involved in. And if anyone's wondering, yes, that is actually a real rabbit. I thought that was a toy when I looked at that slide before, but no, it's real. Okay, so just to summarise some of the points from this part of the presentation, I've talked about design for longevity and versatility, building emotional relationships between the customer and their product. We've spoken about ethical production to initiate positive change. Designers are realising their power for initiating change and doing good. Customers are being able to support and become actively involved in projects. And we talked about design and assembly, so an aim to facilitate remanufacture and recycling at the end of the product's first life. As a significant percentage of the environmental impact of a product is determined at the design stage, designers are beginning to explore new waste-reducing construction concepts and design for durability to extend a product's life, while also considering their rapidly growing material choices with the aim of minimising negative impact on the environment. While many brands already claim to offer fully recyclable clothing and footwear, the difficulty is the recycling of components and trims. This challenge calls for the development of viable disassembly concepts, such as a raincoat by Refinity that features closures which click into the cradle-to-cradle certified fabric, replacing zips, Velcro or buttons. In line with cradle-to-cradle thinking, Melissa footwear is a monomaterial and produced from 100% thermoplastic, which can be recycled again and again. Zero waste design aims to create waste-eliminating patterns while working with cutting room scraps that can inspire new designs for accessories. In the pursuit of perfection, designers strive for extreme quality and durability in terms of materials and construction, resulting in iconic items the wearer wants to keep for a long time. Many designers are avid sportswear and outdoor enthusiasts themselves and often utilise design strategies involving the customer to create product based on real end-user need. NAU describes its approach to design as timeless, using investment colours to guarantee product longevity, while its transitional engineered pieces are versatile for unpredictable seasons and weather. Sustainable materials for the use in sportswear, footwear and equipment have seen an exciting amount of development and growth in the last couple of years. And recycled polyester from post-consumer plastic bottles is extremely popular for swimwear, woven outerwear, fleeces and performance knits, and is inspiring new aesthetics for footwear. Renewable fabrics such as organic cotton, hemp blends, tencel and wool blends are growing in popularity in the sports industry, while quirkier materials such as nettle and fish leather inspire unusual aesthetics and tactility. Material innovation does not stop at clothing and footwear. We've seen exciting developments such as Puma's biodegradable bags made from 100% cornstarch. These are leading the way in sustainable packaging design. So just to offer you again some takeaway points from this part of the presentation, we've spoken about construction concepts and good quality design, and we use that term cradle to cradle thinking and products that can be recycled again and again. Designers are striving to make iconic and timeless items. And we also spoke about material choices, so renewable fabrics and recycled polyester are growing in popularity across the sports industry. In use and end of life. Reduction is the first and most important step to waste reduction, and even small changes can have great impact. For Puma, it's not just the 100% biodegradable cornstarch t-shirt packaging, it's also the fact they're using 50% less material due to a revised folding technique. The reduction of environmental impact during laundry can be achieved through design, choice of materials, quick dry and odour protection finishes. Fashion graduate Emma Rigby's NG Water Fashion Research Project encourages infrequent washing, while fashion designer Katie Ledger's Shed Me project reduces the need for laundry with clothes that shed compostable layers. Catalytic clothing is a concept exploring the use of textiles as a catalytic surface purifies polluted city air while worn, potentially giving the wearer control over the quality of the air they and the people around them breathe. Extending the life of clothing can be achieved through various creative approaches, including repair, restyling, swapping and reselling. Repair and mending is currently catching consumers' imagination as new products and services are being launched. For example, Eugenia Mopongo's RIY, which stands for Repair It Yourself, concept allows consumers to take control of their own post-consumption goods. The Williamsburg Seamster is a travelling seamster who comes to your home or workplace to conduct a fitting before working on repairs and alterations and returning the items on completion. Reimagining unwanted clothing and textiles is popular. London label Junkie Styling makes garments from recycled and upcycled materials. Websites such as lookbook.new and theuniformproject.com inspire new creative ways to wear old clothes. The Closet Swap iPhone app builds virtual closets to share with friends via Facebook, while clothing brand Patagonia supports the online auction of its used and unwanted products in partnership with eBay. Rick Ridgway, Patagonia's Vice President of Environmental Initiatives, notes, as eBay says, the greenest product is the one that already exists. Often criticised as being superficial and a transitional strategy, recycling currently has a major part to play in raising awareness and changing customer behaviour. Fully aware of its environmental impact, the denim industry is not only embracing a major rethink in production, but also actively exploring new solutions for recycling old jeans, with a strong focus on upcycling them into high-value products. The ICO recycling programme is already successful in Germany, where brands such as Esprit have the opportunity to make use of the ICO collection system and support charitable projects, while TK Maxx has launched its Give Up Closed Good campaign, which raises funds for research into childhood cancers. Schmidt Takashi, a Berlin-based fashion label, collects and redesigns cast-offs in radical new ways as part of the Reanimation collection, which comes with a QR code that holds information of the garment's past, present and future. So again, just some takeaway points. We talk about reduce, so even small changes can really have a great impact. Many projects are encouraging infrequent washing and less laundry. We've spoken about reuse, extending the life of clothing by repairing it, recycling, restyling, swapping or reselling. And recycle still has a major part to play in raising awareness and changing customer behaviour. the denim industry is actively exploring new solutions for recycling old jeans. Creative thinking and design innovations provide product and service solutions for the consumer, covering alternative wash care, reuse options and recycling initiatives, which encourage more sustainable consumption of product. As the environmental impact of clothes cleaning and drying is significant, innovation for alternative wash care and reduction or elimination for the need to wash altogether is high on the agenda. Early developments of self-cleaning technologies by the US Air Force show great potential for adoption in the sportswear industry. Various current technologies are based on the use of nanoparticles and coatings, which makes the fabrics repel water, resist stains and kill off bacteria. The first waterless washing machine, made by Xerox Limited, claims to use 90% less water than a normal laundry cycle, replacing water with tiny plastic beads that absorb stains.
That's our eco lighting system. We're all being pretty skilled.
Reusing sportswear, footwear and equipment is seen by many brands as a constructive way to extend the lifespan of a product, inspiring collection activities, charities, new services and product ideas within industry. Clothing banks in Kathmandu provide much needed technical equipment to Nepal's trekking porters, while also being supported by charities and companies to facilitate safe treatment, education and empower for the porters' communities. The Sports Trader concept is a community-based initiative which helps to remove barriers that may exclude young people from participating in sport by providing access to sportswear with a mix of new and pre-used stock. The idea of reuse successfully extends to packaging. Colombia's Reuse Box initiative has already inspired 60% of online customers to select the previously used cardboard box option. Collection and recycling systems are already popular in the outdoor industry, with brands promoting either own brand or industry-wide collection systems. The Patagonia Common Threads program is one of the most well-known systems, despite not offering any financial incentives to its customers, while smaller brands such as Platamusen offer to pay customers back their deposits worth from $1 to $20. Obsolete stock is not at the end of its life, but it's common practice to destroy large amounts of surplus or faulty stock. A recent initiative by Speedo illustrated the potential for finding alternative solutions by collaborating with designers and design students on a series of recycling projects for its banned LZR racer swimsuit. Nike's Reuse a Shoe initiative aims to close the loop in the sporting goods industry by using the valuable materials in used and unwanted trainers or runners to create a new material called Nike Grind. This is used to provide sports surfaces to underserved communities. So we've spoken about wash care. Alternative processes include fabrics able to repel water, resist stains and kill bacteria. We've spoken about the first waterless washing machine. We talked about reuse initiatives, so reuse of equipment, apparel and packaging to support local communities. And we've spoken about end-of-life options, so industry-wide collection systems, alternative solutions to destroying obsolete stock. According to NICE, which stands for the Nordic Initiative Clean and Ethical Consumer Framework, the consumer's awareness of the impact clothing and other fashion products have on society and the environment is still very limited. Company transparency and access to information and products about their supply chain is essential to empower the customer through knowledge and engagement in order to contribute to positive transformation in the industry. The importance of raising awareness of unsustainable consumption is evident through the number of initiatives being launched to engage and involve customers in questioning existing lifestyles and consumption patterns. Last year's Project Ocean at London Selfridges store aimed to raise awareness of endangered fish through in-store displays and activities, while department store Liberty launched a range of scarf prints created by students from the Winchester School of Art to benefit the international conservation organisation World Land Trust. Sustain is a year-long collaboration between ID Magazine and the Centre for Sustainable Fashion, aiming to change the way that we think about buy and wear fashion through the use of photography and text. The NICE Consumer Project engages consumers in the sustainable consumption of fashion, aiming to create increasing awareness about responsible and sustainable business models in the fashion industry. The results of the framework have been presented in the Copenhagen Fashion Summit. Education on clothes care and maintenance is essential, as various lifestyle assessments suggest that the biggest negative impact of a garment is caused during cleaning, drying and ironing. Strategies such as encouraging less frequent washing, challenging our perception of dirt, and washing at cooler temperatures are seen as opportunities to change existing high-impact laundry habits. UK knitwear brand Jordan Smedley has launched special care products designed to prolong the life of garments and spray to keep clothing fresh in between washes. Novozymes, which launched the I Do 30 campaign in 2009 in Denmark, sell enzymes for the detergent industry that allows clothes to be cleaned at 30 degrees or lower, but also points out the success of the campaign really ultimately depends on the customer. As the consumer's demand for information and transparency is growing, companies are coming up with unique ways to respond. Fashion label Honest Buy provides an alternative to the traditional two-season fashion model by offering clothing that can adapt to different climates easily while operating a 100% transparency policy on products, working conditions and cost breakdown. Brands such as eco-denim label HeyCure are inserting QR codes originally designed for marketing initiatives into tags inside jeans, allowing customers to trace information about the product, such as who supplied the certified organic cotton. Easy access traceability mechanisms such as Icebreaker's barcode have had great response from customers, who can see the living conditions of sheep producing the company's signature merino fibre, while continuing from there to trace every step of the supply chain. So we've spoken about awareness, engaging and involving customers by questioning existing lifestyles and consumption patterns. We've spoken about clothing care. Education on clothes care is essential. Strategies include new detergents and cooler temperatures. And we've spoken about product information, so fashion labels are providing 100% transparency policies on products and working conditions. A designer's job does not finish with handing over the specs, as consideration along the whole product development stage offers opportunities for utilising sustainable alternatives. Today's designers are able to tap into eco-design tools and metrics to help them make design choices, while new technology allows them to create leaner and more environmentally friendly processes across development and production. In recent years, industry has witnessed the launch of an unprecedented number of individual design tools, metrics, standards and certifications, as companies work towards assessing and reducing their environmental impact. Nike's open source environmental design tool was launched to help designers make choices about the impact of their designs, and it's based on its own Nike Considered Design Index, used for creating the Nike Considered collections. The Blue Sign standard claims to ensure that the entire textile production chain, from raw materials and component suppliers who manufacture yarns, dyes and additives, to textile manufacturers, retailers and brands, has a proactive tool at its disposal. The standard is extremely popular in the outdoor and snow sports industries. The Sustainable Apparel Coalition, an industry-wide group of leading apparel and footwear brands, retailers, manufacturers, non-governmental organisations and academic experts, recognises the need for collaboration and sharing of knowledge, having developed a common metrics-based tool for measuring the environmental and social performance of apparel products in the supply chain. Virtual prototyping and 3D simulation is widely regarded as the way forward for dramatically changing the entire development process by reducing costs, material waste, and shortening the pre-production cycle. Software systems such as Optitext and Browseware enable designers to see their ideas in true-to-life 3D simulations without having to develop any physical samples. 3D printing and rapid prototyping technologies produce actual 3D prototypes good enough for design verification and are promoted for their inherent environmental benefits. The technology leaves behind virtually no waste, and it reduces travel miles and fabrication time. Nike, Adidas, Puma and H&M have already committed to the Greenpeace Detox campaign. This was launched in July 2011, which aims to remove all hazardous chemicals from a brand's entire product portfolio by implementing individual detox action plans. As reported from this year's Textile, water-based lamination processes which don't use any solvents and sustainable PVC coatings are being launched into the market as alternatives to existing harmful technologies. Membranes like EcoShell are produced without harmful fluorocarbons, while the Sympatex membrane is 100% PTFE-free, making them easily recyclable and 100% biodegradable. There are promising opportunities to improve the water footprint of colouring processes. Dye-cool machines use carbon dioxide for the dyeing of materials, while the air dye technology employs air to help the dye penetrate the fibre and both eliminate the use of water. As an alternative to screen printing, digital printing eliminates the use of screens and water, plus manufacturers of digital printing inks are increasingly launching products that are labelled as eco-friendly and safe. So just to summarise our final takeaways, we've spoken about eco-design tools and metrics. Companies are developing tools to access and reduce their environmental impact. These include instruments that measure the social performance of the supply chain. We've spoken about sampling and prototyping, so virtual prototyping and 3D simulation are being heavily promoted. This technology leaves behind virtually no waste. And component chemicals and colouring. We've spoken about the Greenpeace Detox campaign being backed by the likes of Nike, Adidas, Puma and H&M. So I'd just like to say thank you very much for your time today. Thanks for listening, and if you're interested in finding out more about WGSN, please do come say hello to myself and Heidi. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. That was fascinating. So many amazing examples of businesses that are innovating, but so many of them, I would imagine, would also be cost saving, because if you're thinking of fabric wastage and reusing things, and even 3D sampling and not having to produce stuff. So I guess it's some terrific examples of how, in responding to these challenges, you're also able to potentially save some money, which is great. So thank you.